Hey guys, Winchester Gal here. I have played with a few newer levels. I just kind of go around helping them out, you know, kind of showing them the ropes here and there. And I've had several of them tell me that they wish that they had some videos or that I should help, like put some videos out there to kind of give little tutorials and tips on Red Dead Online here. This is by far my absolute favorite game. I'm totally immersed in this game. Play a little bit of GTA too, but this one's my go-to. So I figured I'd kind of do maybe a series of some small videos just to get you guys started. First one is figured I'd try to maybe do some camp locations today. So I don't know all of them. I kind of, like to stick around the Bayou Nwa area and the Heartlands. Heartlands is absolutely my favorite area, especially for the trader role, which will be another video I'll try to do, one on each role or something. Maybe kind of figure that out as we go. But just kind of wanted to show you like where to stand when you spawn in your camp to get it to spawn into the locations that you like. So I'll show you a few of mine that I like, and I will show you where to stand to get it to spawn in there. So let's see. First one, my moonshine shack is in the Bayou Noir. So I'm going to go there because one of the spots is just a short distance away. So let me call out my horse here. Come on, Blue. There you are. It's one thing I really wish that they did give you more spaces for horses. I have to delete horses to make room for more all the time. But I've got a few that I've kept from the beginning. Like this one was my second horse that I ever got. So this one, and I'll pull up my map here too. I could show you guys. So the Moonshine Shack is here. And we're just going to ride up to about where this M is in Lemoyne. So just go to the M. So we're going to ride there. And instead of taking the road, I just ride straight up through here. It's literally a straight shot. And what kind of got me started on doing this, well, besides the fact that I like the locations, is back in the beginning when you're lower level, you get a lot of higher levels that kind of grief you. So I don't know if you saw on the ride up on this hill, but it's kind of a little cliff. So you're just kind of going to come here and you're going to stand. You're just going to face the tracks here. And you're going to open your camp or your menu here. You're going to go to camp and properties, hit camp, size and location. And you're going to hit small camp. And then you're going to spawn it into the Heartlands. And this should put it in my favorite spot out in the Heartlands. Yep, it did. So this little area here, and we will just fast travel there. It's just a short ride over the hill, but just might as well fast travel there. I'll do a video too on showing y'all how to get the wilderness fast travel camp here. Now, anytime you fast travel from your wilderness camp, it's only $1 if you go to camp. Now, other areas will be, more, but to fast travel to camp from your location with your wilderness camp is only $1. And then also another thing, I don't know if you saw, I had to put my mask back on. If you wear a bandana or a mask of any type, a lot of times whenever you fast travel, for whatever reason, it removes it. So you just might have to put it back on whenever you get to wherever you fast travel to. Kind of annoying, but not going to break anything. So this location here is one of my absolute favorites. It sits kind of down a little bit, and it's hidden in some trees. Like I was saying earlier, the lower level you are, the more likely you're going to be griefed at some point. And in the beginning, I mean, even when I was like level 60 and 80 something, I had a lot of higher ups, like around my level now. I think I'm at 383. Yeah. They would literally set and snipe you. So when you are in camp, you should have, let's see, where is it at on this little, there it is. There's my camp flag. Your camp stuff will move depending on what location you're in. So, like your campfire and all of your little wagons and things like that, they're not going to be in the same spots at every location. So you just kind of have to move around. You will see little icons on your mini map that will help you, for like your stew pot and your fast travel points and things like that once you rank up enough to get those. But your flag, if it is raised, if both of them are raised, then you are supposed to be safe. And so if somebody rides up to your camp, they're not going to be able to shoot you or anything like that. Sometimes if you're close enough to the edge of camp, they can come in with a lasso and pull you out of camp and then haze you. But for the most part, they can't do anything. Now, if the flag is down, and this will lower, like if you do a trader mission or any other type of mission, while you're in a mission, your flag at camp will lower, and that will leave you susceptible to raids from NPCs. They'll come in and steal your camp supplies from crypts if you have a crypt roll going for your trader roll, or real players can come in and do some damage and things. So if you're here and your flag is not down, you're good. If it's down, you're open to other players. But there is, it's not really a hack, I guess, but there's a glitch where if the person is far enough away and they use a Carcano rifle to snipe you, they're so far off of your mini map that it's not registering that they're there and that they're an enemy, and they are able to one shot you in the head by sniping you with a Carcano. And so I like locations for my camp that are a lot of trees, kind of down, not really wide out in the open, things like that, just to kind of help prevent that in, the future. So to get this location, you're going to ride to the M in Lemoyne and just face the railroad tracks on that little cliff edge there and spawn it into the Heartlands. And that's going to put it in this location. Now, there is another location that you will go back to that M, that same M, to get it to spawn, but you're going to get it into set up at the Bayou Nwa, and it is literally right across from where the Moonshine Shack is. So actually, I'm not even going to do that because, like I said, it is still marked on my map. So from this direction, I'll just show you where the M is from here. So it's like from here to the M, and then the Moonshine Shack is pretty much the same distance away. So we'll just ride over there. And then also, I'll go back just to mention this since it's up. These little red areas here that pop up, this one has a moonshine jug in it. And if you hold your cursor over it, it will tell you what it's for. So they're little, like, kind of side missions that kind of help your roles play out and help you gain experience and things like that for that particular role. If you don't have a role, you're not going to have these random events like this pop up. But once you do get the Moonshiner role and stuff like that started, you're going to see these random events pop up. Sometimes it'll be a roadblock that you'll have to take out for other Moonshiners to help out. Sometimes it's like this. There are other Moonshiner NPCs. You got to go and kill them and destroy their, steel and stuff like that. So if you don't want to trigger this random event, which it's not a big deal if you do, you're on a timer. I think usually around 10 minutes or so. You can't fast travel even from a fast travel point if that timer is going. That's the only aggravating thing really about it. If not, I mean, you're just riding around anyway and you accidentally trigger one, it's no big deal. You just let the timer run out and you're good. It'll just tell you your posse had to abandon the job or whatever. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to avoid that, and I'm just kind of going to ride around. But normally I would just ride straight through. There's a little stable here, so we're just going to kind of ride around that red area, and it will show up on your mini map too as you get closer, so you can avoid the red area that way as well. Just to, like you can see here. So I'm just going to ride around, just on the edge of it, and then we're going to go back. Just follow the red X. So this location that I'm getting ready to show you to set your camp up at used to be my absolute favorite in the beginning. It was just relatively close to pretty much what I was, where I needed to go all the time. And it's right next to my moonshine shack, that's one of the ways I make most of my money. The collector roll is the absolute best way, but I'll go into that in another video someday. So here again, once again, we're going to hit left on your D-pad to open your menu. We're going to go down, go to camp and properties, hit camp, size and location, small camp, and then we're going to set it to the Bayou Nwa. It should set it there as long as nobody is in that spot. Now, if nobody is there, and that could be a player standing there riding through or a camp place there, then your camp should spawn in that location. If your camp does not spawn in the location that you want when you're going to these points, then that means that somebody is there doing something. There is a little shack here that collectors go to that can trigger that to happen. Um, so if anybody's in that area, it will not spawn there. Um, so you can either go to a new session or you can ride around and come back later and try to get it set there. But this here, like I said, it's really close to the Moonshine Shack, but it's also close to the roads. You got all of these little roads here. You can call a wagon out. So when you have a hunting wagon or something like that you're bringing stuff to crypts in for your trader roll, you want it to be close to a road, and you don't want to have to go over a lot of hills or things like that, or go around rocks and things. And so this one is really, really, really good location for that. It sits right next to the roads, and then it's also next to the town roads as well. So, but do a lot of business over there with roads. Calaga Hall, if you're not afraid to ride through the swamps and the gators, you just ride straight across Calaga Hall. If you do the collector roll, you got to go over here a lot, and it's kind of out of the way sometimes. Boulder Glade, go down to Braithwaite. So it's just a good camp location. And then you're also close to Saint Denis and LeGras, where Harriet is. She is the uh, I can't think of her role. Oh my gosh, I just went blank. I do that a lot, so y'all bear with me in my videos here. She's a naturalist. That's her role, and she's kind of hippie. She's dirty. She needs a bath, but you'll see later on whenever I do the videos. Um, and then this location over here, this is what I call the Outer Banks. So it's just a series of islands and stuff over here. There is a little shack here that a lot of times there'll be some collectibles and stuff there. There's a burnt down little shack here and a overturned boat where there's some collectibles. But all of this area here is full of gators. You've got big gators, baby gators. Um, I'll do a video on that as well later. And then this whole area is full of gators. And usually right through here you will have about 20 or so gators that will line up here. So if you need to hunt some gators, they're very easy to hunt. Um, they get you your big game meat, which I'll go over in another video as well. But that's kind of your locations there. So that's another reason I like my camp here, or my second location to spawn on the Outer Banks is going to be in this little area here. And to get it to spawn there, we're going to go up to this little area here. And so I'm going to go ahead and mark that for that. But in the meantime, we're just going to ride over and go show you the location for this camp. So once again, this one is the same location. You're going to go to the M in Lemoyne. And instead of hitting the Heartlands to get it to spawn in the last location I showed you, this one's the Bayou Nwa. Jump off the cliff here without falling. Some horses are better than others. Some of them just, they do not do well with hills, and you will fall flat on your face and the horse will fall on you too. So just kind of watch out for that. So once again, straight shot back to my moonshine shack. And I'll go over a video to explain why I chose this location on that too, because I've had it in different locations, and this is by far the best, I think. But you all, I have played with plenty of other people, and they like theirs. So just take the first road on the right, and voila, here's your camp. And so you are right next to gators. So if you use your eagle eye, I don't see any there right this second, but you'll see some little smoke kind of coming out of the water. Those are gators that are in the water. If they're on land, they will glow yellow. Um, you will have bird egg in the tree over here sometimes for the collector roll, and then in that little shack, sometimes there's an heirloom, like a brush or a comb, and an alcohol bottle or a card in there. Just different things, spawn randomly there. But you have a road literally right here. Here's your trader roll, your crypt table, and then you have a road right here. And so to call out your hunting wagon or whatever, if you fill it up, you just come here and you hit left on your D-pad, and you're just going to go down to your stables, go down to vehicles, and then own vehicles, and then call out your hunting wagon. And it's going to come from the direction your back is facing. So the opposite direction you're facing is where it's going to come. So it would come behind me here. And then you just get on it and ride it up and, deliver your stuff to crypts. I'm going to raise my flag back up so nobody come and steal my goodies. I'm working on getting it filled back up. I take some lower levels out, and I think $625, I think, is a full load delivery for a long distance delivery. So they get half of that if they're in my posse and help. So they get like $312.50 or something like that. But yeah, so that's this location. There has been a few times when I've come over to where my horses are hitched and stuff, and there will be a gator laying like right here in this area. So it's not very often, but they are there. So just in the dark, kind of watch where you're going, or eagle eye. Get in the habit of using eagle eye, especially with the collector roll. But I do it anywhere. Oh, look, is that an egg in the tree? I believe it is. Yep. So if you look and see, I call them yellow sparkly tornadoes, but you can see it up in that tree over there. Well, that's good. I'm aiming. You can see it in that tree there. That right there is an egg. So that's what your collector's roll items are going to look like whenever you're collecting. They're just kind of have a little, yeah, not always. Sometimes they glitch and they don't sparkle, but you will feel your controller vibrate. And like I said, I'll go over, do a whole video on that. But so that's this location. So we're going to ride on over to the area I marked earlier. I think I saw a gator. I'll show you what they look like real quick. Eagle eye on. Yeah, see, they just glow yellow. They're very easy to hunt. I mean, you ride by them, they might snap at you. Sometimes your horse will get spooked. Some horses are better than others. Now, if you do get off and walk up to them, they will get you and chew you like a rag doll. They'll shake you and everything like a chew toy, like a dog. But so we're just going to ride over here, and I'll show you the next place I stand to get it to spawn into my second favorite location. And I ain't following the road. Eagle eye, watch out for gators coming through. See the smoke in the water? Those are gators in the water. Another one. Just right around. Coming through. Pay me no attention. Don't you dare try to throw me. Like I said, some horses are... Oh, and there's a cat. Thinking it. Yep. Yep, and he's gonna throw me. I knew he would. Yeah, get off. Don't mess with me. Where you at? Shot at the gator. It locked onto the gator. Oh, you're gonna run from me today, huh? Cats like to eat me. And he is a 3-star. So your 3-star Panthers and your 3-star Cougars are going to get you the most money. Eagle Eye, where'd you go? Follow his trail. You can hit R1 and follow him without it, but I just Eagle Eye through here. Like I said, I do not feel like getting... Oh, looks like my weapon needs cleaned. Because he ain't a 3-star no more. You can skin them. They'll give you big game meat. He's only a 1-star now since I messed up his pelt. So I'm just going to skin him and get the big game meat. You can hear the gators. There's a gator in the water or something. Don't come and eat me. One time I was doing this, I was skinning a gator, had my back to the water like that, and I was bent over, and one came out of the water like something off Nat Geo and got me. I didn't know they could do that. Alright, Blue, get your butt back over here. Threw me, got me attacked. Put you back in the barn and call out Spirit if you don't behave. That's my most trustworthy horse. Well, sort of. He's my Mustang. And the first one I ever had was absolutely amazing. I mean, I kid you not, I would stand on top of a gator and he wouldn't throw me. I would just keep calming him by pressing down on L3. And he would get kind of antsy, and he'd sit and paw and stomp a little bit, but he never threw me. And I was going through the stables one day and I was trying to figure out how to take a saddle off and switch saddles. Oh, somebody's here. So this is the other location. Somebody's already got a camp spawned here, so it is not going to spawn here, obviously. So I'm going to have to go to another session if I want my camp to spawn here. But I can show you the place to go ahead and spawn it in it, and in the meantime, we're just going to walk around this person's little camp here. Maybe go and say hello to Crips. How are you, buddy? I'm going to go over here and take a beer. Walk around and show my new friends their location here. So this one, once again, is another one of my favorite locations because it is close to a road. Now, it is a little more out in the open than others, but for the most part, I've not had many people bother me here. But you're right next to a road. You also have all of the gators and stuff nearby. So if you need big game meat or things like that, or if you do the naturalist role and you need to sample, there's just so many animals out here. Muskrats, snakes, squirrels, gators, baby gators, big gators are counted as different animals for her. You've got all kinds of different birds you can kill and pluck to sell. You've got the alligator snapping turtles here. Just so many different animals. So it's just one of my favorite locations as far as hunting for Crips or sampling for Harriet. So once again, this is it. This is what it looks like. So we'll ride up now and I'll show you where to stand to get it to spawn in here. So just again, pull up the map and I'll show you. So you're just going to go to this little area here. And you can ride up the tracks. Or you can ride through here. Just be careful if you do. Make sure you use Eagle Eye so you can kind of see through the dark and don't run into any gators. Especially with your horses not fully bonded with you. Even if they are, like my horse just did, some of them are more skittish than others. Fox. You'll have deer, you'll have fox, you'll have pigs, you'll have all kinds of animals out through here. This is another location that you'll have camps spawning and stuff in here too. There and then back over between there's 2 railroad tracks, one over there and one here, and your camp will spawn up on that hill kind of up there. And then sometimes you can have them spawn in down in here. But I'm not big on these areas. They're kind of far out from everything. This is another good location to get your gators. They're usually lining the banks, your baby gators and big gators and stuff. But Oh, look, there is a collectible here. So this is where you'll go and grab this collectible while I'm here. Gotta make my money somehow. This is also the location for pelicans. A lot of times there will be a daily challenge where you have to cook exotic bird meat. There will be a pelican that usually sits right here or just right on top of this boat here. Sometimes it'll be a brown pelican, sometimes it'll be a white one. That was a daily. Apparently got to find 3 family heirlooms. I haven't even checked my dailies today. But so you're just gonna come just right beside the railroad tracks, just in this general vicinity. No particular place to stand. And you're just gonna face the opposite direction you want your camp to spawn in. You're gonna hit left on the D-pad, go to camp and properties, camp, size and location, small camp, and you're gonna set it to the Bayou Nwa, which my camp is already in the other location at the Bayou Nwa. Now, if you spawn in the Bayou Nwa and it puts it in another spot, and you ride by where you want it and nobody's there, that could have just meant someone was riding through, like I discussed earlier. So, all you have to do is literally pick any other location and then spawn your camp in there, and then just hit size and location again, small camp, and set it back to the Bayou Noir. And it will put it, where you want it, as long as you're standing in the place that you need to be that I'm showing you. Um, if there's a location that you like your camp better, like for example, if you want your camp up here where this person's camp is, I have not figured out where to stand for these locations. The only ones I'm showing you are the ones that I have played around with and found just because I like the area so much. So I literally went around for like 5 and 6 hours, a day, and just kind of played around with it to see where I could get my camp to spawn. And finally figured out, hey, if I do this, it worked every time. So I started doing it, and sure enough, it stuck. So those are the 2 locations I like here in the Bayou Noir. I've showed you the location I liked in the Heartlands. There is another location with the bird egg. Switch to my varmint rifle. So with the bird eggs, you could shoot them out for the collector roll. You could shoot them out of the tree with a varmint rifle or a bow and small game arrows. Make sure I got my varmint rifle set, because if you shoot it with anything else, it will destroy it. See that little green puff of smoke? When you shoot it, that means you hit it. But I'll do a video on going through all of this, like I said, for those later. I'm just collecting these because I'm here, and they change up every day, so they change locations. So might as well get it while I'm here. So there is, like I was saying, you watch my videos enough, you'll see I kind of bounce around, because I'll say stuff and things reminds me of other things. But we'll go back up here to the O in Hanover. We're going to go in between the O and V in New Hanover. So this area here is in the Heartlands next to Emerald Ranch. A lot of people like this area because there is an abundance of geese and ducks and deer, and just a little ways over here you'll see some bison you can hunt. The legendary Tatanka bison, anywhere between my favorite camp location here and over here, he spawns in kind of in that range. He is a free roam legendary. I'll go over legendaries in another video later on. But it's just a good location a lot of people like to get. And so there are 3 points that you can spawn in that this location we're headed to can spawn in. I have not found, like, this location will spawn you into one of those 3 spots, and they're really close right in here, but it's not a guarantee. Like, for example, I have a friend we play with that really likes his right here. It's like a little hill, and I'll ride you over there and I'll show you what they look like. But he wants his there every time, and it will always spawn it in one of these 2 other locations and there. Like, he never gets it every time, but as long as he's in the general vicinity here, he's okay. But I'll go and show you. So this spot is kind of a little different than the others. The others are a surefire spot to get This one is the closest that I've found to get it in this area. Like I said, we've rode all around because it goes by distance. We just can't figure out how to actually get it in that exact spot he wants every time. But he'll get it several times, out of, say maybe 4 out of 6 times, 7 times, something like that. He'll get where he wants it. So we'll go ahead and let's just fast travel here if it'll let me. Yeah. Sometimes it'll say you can't fast travel because there's not an open enough camps or space to travel to place a campsite. So let's go to Emerald Station. If that happens, then just ride down the road and just keep trying to pop up your fast travel camp while you're riding. Eventually, you'll find a spot. So Emerald Station here. You're just going to ride over. I'm just going to go over to the Heartland Overflow area and show you all this area. So as you can see, I'll ride through, kind of stir up, use eagle eye too. You can see all the ducks and the geese. It's a lot out here. And you're going to get your fat, flight feathers, things like that you need to make your arrows and explosive ammo and stuff like that from your ducks and your geese. So you've got deer, but this location that I'm walking in is where one of the camps will spawn. So it's kind of in a little marshy land, like it's kind of wet, and your horses do get dirty based on the location. Bayou Nwa, they'll get really muddy. Out in the desert areas, they're going to get really dusty. You just buy a brush from your catalog, and then you can just go to your weapon wheel, hit R1 twice to go to the items on your horse, and then go over to the right and hit your brush. And you can brush them that way while you're riding. As long as you're not in a full run, he'll brush, you can brush them or feed them or whatever. But this is one spot. That hillside up here, this little cliff, is where another one will spawn. That's where my buddy likes to get his to spawn. And it will spawn over on this side. Kind of right in this little area here. So, and there are several different ways to go down. Like you can ride down here, you can go the way I came up, or there's a couple on the opposite side. So that is one of the possible locations that it will spawn in for here. And then, like I said, over in the water we just went to. Or, this one's my favorite. If I get it to spawn in over here, this is where I like mine to spawn. It's right here. And it's in the trees, kind of hidden. Your horses will be, hold up over here. And then your camp will be here. In this little area. And it's real pretty, Hop off my horse. He's going to go too fast in circles. But yeah, so you could literally just sit here and camp and just go to the edge and start sniping animals. But look at all these deer. It's very beautiful out here. So I like the Heartlands. It is my absolute favorite just because it reminds me of where I am from. And I say Heartlands, that's a broad area. It does cover a lot, but I'm from Kentucky, and so the further you go out this direction, the closer it reminds me of home. You got wild horses that run out through here as well. It's just an overall beautiful place. But then you also have Emerald Ranch here. You can kill some sheep and skin them if you need to, or cattle. Sometimes there'll be some cattle up here. I think there's usually a goat or two. If you ever need roosters, they're kind of up in this area over here. You'll find one or two there. There's some collectibles here sometimes. There's only one cow in there today. Sometimes there'll be like 4 or 5. And then you've got the fast travel point as well. And then later on, oh, look, there's somebody there. Sometimes they will be trouble. Sometimes they won't. Just kind of stand there, give them a chance. If they don't do nothing, go on my way. Sometimes they'll follow you and bother you, even at a higher level. Lower levels tend to attack you more than anybody else. I guess they see you as a challenge. And you don't have to get off your horse to fast travel or nothing, but I do that sometimes just out of habit. So I'm trying to think. So that's those locations. Oh yeah, I haven't showed you where to go to stand to get those to spawn in, did I? See, I lose track. So we're going to go to the waypoint now. So I showed you the 3 locations that your camp will spawn if you go to this location and set your camp to the Heartlands. My horse needs to be fed. Hungry. Give him a carrot. Yeah. All right, so this one, just right next to the railroad tracks. Now, this is another spot that your camp can spawn in where these rocks and stuff are. I don't like it back here. It is out of the way. So if you're just at a random location and you hit Heartlands, it's a possibility. But I'll just come down from that. You just see where those rocks are. I come down. There's a little hill here, and there's a little tree at the top. Now sometimes your horse will be kind of antsy and he don't want to stay facing this way. He'll kind of start turning circles. So I just get off my horse. So I'll come up to this tree. I'll go left on D-pad, go down to camp. Camp, property size, small camp, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go to the Heartlands. And it should spawn at one of those 3 locations as long as no one is in that general vicinity. And so it spawned it in the next to the little house here. So there must be somebody over there. Now we are far enough away. Like I know there's a player over there because I just rode by him. And so we are far enough away. They don't always register on your map. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. So that's where you go to get it to spawn in here. And you can play around with it. You can go up a little higher, like if you are really dead set like my friend on getting that specific location. We'll try to go up a little bit and see. You can go a little left, a little right. You just kind of play around with it, see where to go, you know. Like I said, I just got to set it to some other location before I can spawn it back to the Heartlands. See where it puts it now. Look at there. That player must have been riding through because now it's back over here. It should be where he likes it, I believe. That's what it looked like on the map. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look and see. If it is, I'm going to have to laugh and tell him, haha, got it. Because I can get it, but he has trouble sometimes. I think it's okay as long as I get one of these 3 areas. Coming through. And it is. Yeah, see, you can go up left, you can go up that way, you can go far left, you can go right here. There's different ways you can go about getting up here. So I'll go ahead and show you this location. But yeah. And if you have a wagon for a trader, he's going to spawn over here. There are no close roads. So you're going to want to kind of go down behind your tent here and go left down this way. And then go right. And you're going to go to the road that way. And you have to watch all of the rocks and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons I'm not big on mine being up here. I like to keep mine close, you know, fairly close to a road. So I'm not having to run around just to go get a wagon. Or risk my trader wagon getting damaged, you know. But yeah, so there's that one. And then my absolute favorite, only because if you've played story mode, it is one of the locations that Arthur and M has their camp set up, that Dutch sets their camp up. It is the one at Clemmons Point out in Scarlet Meadows, in between Braithwaite Manor and Rhodes. And to get it to spawn into that location, you've got to go to Blackwater. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fast travel to Blackwater. Hop up here. I guess I could put my hat back on. What's that, the pink one? Yep. I need to go in there and take it off. There we go. So with this one, I don't know why I got on my horse. You're just going to come to the end of the dock here. And you're just going to face out. You're going to face toward roads. And I'll open my map and I'll show you. So we got this. And we're going to open the map. And so this area right here is Clemmons Point. You'll have some collectibles like geese eggs and duck eggs and stuff that'll spawn here. There's also an alcohol bottle that will spawn here at a shipwreck site on this little island. And you have a little dock here. Your camp will spawn here, and you could just swim right across. So you also got roads. It's real close to roads. There's a lot of collectibles that will spawn out this way. And then it's close to Braithwaite Manor. Literally, you can just ride around and ride to Braithwaite Manor, which there are a lot of collectibles there. And then the Nightwalker Panther, which is a very hard free roam legendary. He's very hard to get to spawn in, but he has like this whole area to spawn in. Like he's a very big area. And so he's close to that too. So you can go through there and try to get him to spawn in. But so I will show you. So you come to Blackwater, you just go to the end of the pier here. Kind of see face where you want it. And just get it to spawn in the Scarlet Meadows. And we'll see, make sure nobody's there. So go down to camp and properties, camp, size and location, small camp. Go up to Scarlet Meadows. And it should have put it where I want it. And it did. And so this is the last location. Like I said, it's not my favorite as far as doing like the trader role. Like if you want to hunt, you're better off going to set it in like the Bayou Nwa or the Heartlands. If you want to get him going. Or if you're wanting to do the naturalist role for Harriet, where you do the sampling and stuff for animals. But as far as just favorite locations, it's pretty. You do a lot of good fishing and things like that. Smallmouth bass. Your short little ride away down to Braithwaite Manor to get your largemouth bass, things like that. Which both of those, when you break them down, will give you your flaky fish meat. So we're just going to go to camp. And I'll show you this last location. But I just like it because it's, a little piece, bring you a little closer to Arthur. So I don't know if you all played the story mode, you'll probably recognize it. Got the broken down dock over here. You can fish off of. Arthur's little wagon was over in this general vicinity, and you had Dutch's camp over in here, or his tent. But yeah, fast travel point, it's just right over here. You'll have your horses, of course, over there, and then that little dead tree stump right there. A lot of times there will be a collectible there. I have a yellow sparkly tornado. If there is, it's nothing there today. Pop my mask back up. But yeah, so those are just a short, well, it's not a short video, I guess. About time I got done. But it's a video on just a few of my locations that I like, my absolute favorite ones, and the areas that I've found that you can stand in to get it to spawn in. Like I said, if you don't get it your first try, it's not a big deal. That just usually means that there's somebody there that has kind of hemmed it up for a second. You can always ride down to that location and just see if somebody's camp is there. If it's not, then that just means there was a player probably riding through or had stopped there maybe to kill a gator and skin it or something for a short moment. And then you just ride back to the spot that I showed you on the map and try to set it there again, and it should work. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, so I hope this helps somebody, and I'll try to do some more videos on other tips and things in here to help you guys get going. And I hope you guys love this game as much as I do. It's extremely, extremely fun. And it really sucks you in. You get you get into your role. And yeah, I am. I guess I probably should mention I obviously I'm a girl and my character is a guy. This is the first game that I've played that my character has been something opposite than what I am, but I figured it's a cowboy game. You got to be a cowboy in a cowboy game, but also just playing so long as Arthur Morgan, you just kind of it just fit. So, but yeah. So I guess I'll see you all next time I make another video.